Well, welcome back to the narrow road. Traveling further up this road, I've discovered some things and I want to pass them on to you. It's called this one, the narrow road is the good ground. We read the parable of the sower, and we discover that it is the sower, the Lord, who placed us on this narrow road where the good ground is. It was here that His word gets rooted. Whereas in our getting off this road, we find that this word that we get from the Lord gets trod underfoot and does not grow. I've called these other places or paths as exits. Exits from the good ground. These exits lead to paths where what the Lord would have you to share gets trod underfoot. Other exits lead to thorns where you give out what the Lord has given to you to share, and as soon as you share it, it gets choked out. Because on this thorny path, there are those who are wrapped up into cares and fears of this life. They can't see or experience what you got off the narrow road. Other paths or exits to these paths that are nothing more than rocky roads. Once again, you share to them what you got off the narrow road, and it appears that they have received what you have had to share, yet because of the rocks, that word is short lived. What you share can't take root. After doing this for years, and I've done that, at some point you discover what I've been stressing over and over. Stay in the Spirit. Stay on this road. Allowing the Lord to draw individuals to this narrow road and pray that they stay there long enough to see what you briefly shared with them to take root. Pray they see this and want it all to grow more. If they don't, and take what you have shared with them, it will never take root. And the question comes to mind. What do you mean by stay on the road? Okay, that's been asked. The road is not your daily routine in the physical sense of the word. This narrow road is in you, in what is called the mind of Christ. In your mind, your head, you head out in the morning. You aren't leaning unto your own understanding that you are driving a car, shopping, heading for work, but you're acknowledging the Lord, having Him to direct your path, which is on this narrow road, and bring those He would have to cross you daily, routine, in the physical sense now. In your mind, on this narrow road, you can see that day's path. I mean, you can really see it. And as you get better at seeing this path in your mind, you can even see those who will cross your path and in maturity know what's going to be said or done. It's called intuition. Here's an example of all this. When I head out for a long trip, I close my eyes, I see myself on the physical road ahead. I see the various turns, stops. I see myself there, and I see myself returning safely. Doing this, it cancels out any fear of this physical trip ahead with my seeing myself getting there and home safety. I've learned to do this because in my past, when I didn't do this, all kinds of strange things occurred. I would have all kinds of strange thoughts that would happen. Thoughts like, your car is going to break down on this trip. You aren't going to get there. So I have learned to avoid all these crazy thoughts by seeking the Lord's view of the total trip. Learning to see this brought peace that passes all understanding and fears. Now I really do this. And it isn't just teachings and not putting to practice what I teach. Try it sometime. He won't fail you. Now, here's another point to add to this. If you can't see what I just said, don't go. Wait, delay the trip, go another time, ask later. And if this time you can see what I have described, then go as led. I've learned all this in stages. At one stage, I would ask simply that the Lord take control of the trip ahead and go with any divine delays that He would bring into play that would keep me from various problems. There were times I was there were times I was a few miles down the road and realized I had forgotten something. Without getting frustrated, simply turn around, get what I forgot, then later up the road see a bad accident that had I not forgotten something, I would have been involved in an accident. Thank God for divine release. Even you're forgetting things works to good for you. But the more advanced stage is, as I said, seeing the totality trip there and back again. Here's another thing I've discovered on this narrow road. Sometimes matters are so far up this narrow road, or straight narrow road, that they are a blur to our seeing them, that they are there. There's always an answer up the road. I'd asked for the Lord's answer to this and then waited for His response. So up the road, I was sitting one night watching a TV commercial of a new set of eyeglasses that if you needed greater vision, you simply like on the side you turn up the vision by a little knob on the glass rim, and what you wanted to see is magnified. So what was the Lord showing me? In those moments, when things are a blur, ask to have the vision turned up. Amazing, right? It works. Try it sometime. It does. Turning up the vision is something you ask in the spirit, and you wait for your spirit to do this. It isn't a self-effort thing. I've learned that as well. This idea goes along with what the Lord has recently shared with this idea of letting things play out. There are times you don't want to see things at that particular time. Remember, you don't want the left hand to know what the right hand is doing. Waiting is revealed in God's timing. So understand that. It's a lot of good points have come down on this road. One might ask, how do you remember all this stuff? Well, the answer is you don't. But He does. When needed, He reminds you. Remember what I've shared on the ARE, acknowledge, remind, establish. That's the thing I do with God. Every day I establish something new. And I don't try to commit to memory because it's in His mind, it's in His hands. He remembers, and as I need it, He reminds me. Well, moving on up the road. At this time, there's more beyond. That's one piece. Now, in light of this fact, think of it. He had promised in the past videos on this narrow road that He would make that which was one time crooked straight, that which was rough one time smooth. He would lower the mountains and raise the valleys. Take His yoke upon us, and we find that His burden is light, and we find rest for our soul. We learn to wait. I just lately got a video, I haven't put it out yet. It's on the 23rd Psalm of David. Now think of that in light of this, what I've just said so far. I mean, this other video has the graphics in the background, beautiful music. It's quoting the 23rd Psalm. I'll be putting it out soon. But, I used to always quote parts of that Psalm, never memorized it. The Lord one day said to me, I want you to memorize 23rd Psalm. So I struggle. Now I got a weak mind when it comes to memorizing things, and He helped me memorize it. The 23rd Psalm. The Lord is my shepherd. I shall not want. Well, if you're on this road and you're asking, He's going to provide your needs on this road. The Lord is my shepherd, I shall not want. He makes me lie down in green pastures beside still waters. Understand that? He'll make you lay down. Sometimes we get in such a hurry and scurry and bustle thing in this life. Now you miss things. Sometimes God has to make you lay down in green grass beside still waters. When He does that, He restores your soul. I mean, it's peace in the valley there, in the green grass, in the still waters, not rushing waters. That comes out in the video we'll be bringing out. So the Lord is my shepherd, I shall not want. He makes me lie down in green grass beside still waters. He restores my soul. Then He leads me in the paths of righteousness. It's for His name's sake. Now I'll get into that later on in this video. Also my other videos I've been bringing out about this for His name's sake and what that really means. He leads me in the paths of righteousness for His name's sake. Yea, though I walk through the valley of the shadow of death, I don't feel no evil. For He's there. He set the path up. His rod and His staff, they comfort me. He prepares a table before me. This is the road. He prepares the table before you. In the presence of my enemies, He anoints your head with oil. The oil of the Holy Spirit. The insight that we're getting here in these videos. And your cup runs over. And you discover, surely goodness and mercy has followed me all my life. And I will, at the end of this road, dwell in that kingdom forever. Beautiful psalm. Let me pause here. I think that may be it for this video. What is it, 12 minutes long? There's so much more. Let me see if I want to add any more to that. No, I think I'm going to end it on this one. Make these videos not so long that people don't have the time to really listen to them. I have a lot more on this narrow road. Things I've picked up and I now share with you. It's my prayer. Father, bring these things home. Let this be the good ground. And have this word that's expressed here grow in their lives. To the precious name Jesus and all that name represents, we thank you, Father. Amen.